Welcome to London and to the Classique course. Beginning in St James's Park, riders will head up Constitution Hill, turning at the top to come down and onto Birdcage Walk, then passing Big Ben and turning left onto Whitehall and right onto the Strand before turning again to come back up the Strand through Trafalgar Square, Admiralty Arch and back onto the Mall to end the lap. This route takes riders on some of the most famous London streets, where at the end of each lap riders will also pass Trafalgar Square and Buckingham Palace. Passing these landmarks, riders will have no time for sightseeing. With an elevation gain of only 19 metres on each lap, this is a fast-paced course. With each lap only lasting 5.4 kilometres with limited locations to attack, racers will have to pick their moment carefully. Will someone go for a long attack before the Flamme Rouge, or will we see a tough last-minute sprint to the finish line on the Mall? Get ready for a fast race. Good luck, racers. Ride on.
We went to the wrong scene. Oh my gosh, there it is, boys and girls. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Vision Cycling broadcast of the Zwift training race. We had a couple little hiccups this morning hooking to our stream splitter, but we're here now, boys and girls, and Frank Garcia is at 11 watts per kilogram. That's the first thing we get to see is the monstrous sprinter himself trying to get back on terms with the legs, Mr. Legvox for PTZ, for the French and for PTZ Team Portugal as he's coming out of France. Garcia here with Shum as well. Casey has made the initial break, it looks like, so we do have a lead group of 3, but H.G. Becker himself, the German, is trying to make that close that gap down on the riders. So today's race broadcast is going to be the second half here of the Zwift training race. They're going a total of 48.5 kilometers, 8 laps on the classic course. Then we are going to be covering the KISS road race out on Zwift as well, KISS Europe, and they will be doing 37.6, is that right? Let me log in here real quick over at Zwift Power and make sure that the times are all right. I am sorry. Yep, that's right. Okay, 37.6 kilometers today in the KISS Europe, and that will be going down in just 50 minutes from now. 50 minutes from now. And so Frank Garcia, the man that is so strong and fit, he helps a whole bunch of college students move into their dorms. Wait a second, what is going on here? Actual hero news just in. Allison Duck just logged into Zwift with Kiss B tag. Oh my goodness. And things are happening, boys and girls. Ducks have been allowed in Zwift and into Zwift racing. What's going to happen next? I'm not sure. But H.G. Becker sure is on the front here at 5.8 watts per kilogram, 374 watts or so, 162 beats per minute. Frank Garcia trying to hang on. Duck should be banned. Worse than Z-Power Riders. Allison Duck is saying over at Beam. Basalts is over at Twitch. Basalts, everybody misses you over at Beam, just so you know. They all love you, and they want to see your amazing I Am New. And they want your I Am New to be real. And it will be real over on Beam. So now Becker here, the German, at 6.0 watts per kilogram, climbing out of this 2.7% grade, leading these boys out. And Shum now hanging on to that wheel. Emery, Garcia, Legvox. It is a lead group of 4. It looks like 1, 2, 3, 5. 1, 3, 4, 5. What's the difference? I'm sorry. No, 5. It is a lead group of 5. And there is a chase group forming with the cake on the front of it, with Eddie right on his wheel. Cliven coming out of Norway, Mr. Team Z, Wallstrom, Berts out of Belgium, trying to hang on to those wheels. So we do see this large chase group here, and the Cake is leading them out, Mr. James Hodges himself. And Johnny Noblet says, did we ever find out if the guy last week as bath salts or not? No, that wasn't bath salts. It was Weenie is actually, or no, it's somebody else. It wasn't Weenie, it was somebody else. No, that wasn't actually bath salts. That was actually a new person. H.D. Becker here, coming out of Germany, climbing out of this 6% grade right downtown. Looks like business district of London. You guys are going to have to teach me all these places, because I don't know anything about London. Jay Emery here now, able to follow the attack from Becker, but these boys are suffering. As you can see, Garcia trying to get on terms as well. Legvox, Shum now at 6.4 watts per kilogram, working for Team Experimental. And since this is a fairly flat course, I think we're going to see a whole lot of these riders just trying to... not a whole lot of these riders, but Team Experimental may be trying to set up their strong sprinter for a pack finish. As we know that Garcia has that kick, he's got that crazy 1500, I think, watts or so that I've seen him pull out in just a few, 200 meters or so. So Frank Garcia probably looking to just allow that heart rate to stay as low as possible. We do see Legvox here trying to continue off the front and make it difficult for that to happen, though, in this race. Garcia now not going to be chasing things down. It looks like Shum coming toward the front and going to maybe start to work for his fellow Team Experimental rider. Jay Emery from Vision Cycling sitting in pretty toward the front, 4.2 watts per kilogram, though willing to do some work, it looks like. And this will be the lead group, as the Wallstrom group back here has fallen back a full-on 40 seconds or so. The Cake has disappeared. I'm not sure what happened to the Cake. It looks like it got eaten. So the Cake has died. It's no longer alive. The Cake has died out on Zwift. Hopefully he's okay, actually. But it looks like he has dropped out of the race, perhaps, or was just getting a little warm-up before the actual KISS race. Jay Emery now with an attack, as it looks like Becker was looking to bridge to Legvox, and they're not looking to just drag any of the groups right along with them. We do see Shum bumping it up to 6.7, and Garcia up and out of the saddle, 11 watts per kilogram. Just one quick little kick there, right on by the rest of the riders, and able to stay on terms with this lead group. All right, so if we're going to go ahead and open up the ZTR right now with the live results and see what we've got here for these front runners. They are 44 minutes into racing. They've got another 15K to go out on course. So 44 minutes, 15K to go. They'll most likely finish right around the 1 hour mark or so. Hey Banky, who is excited about iOS version? I don't know if any of you guys have heard about it. Yeah, we talked about it in the Zwiftcast. If you haven't checked out Zwiftcast.com, we talked about it in the broadcast, or the Zwiftcast, quite a bit actually. We think it's going to be a game changer. We think it's going to open up the doors of Zwift to a lot of users. As a lot of the tech side of things and purchases that you have to make are just going to become obsolete, and all you got to do is download an app on your phone. So I think you're gonna see a lot of new users jumping into Zwift because of that, especially heading into winter. It's most likely something they've really been working hard on. I'll be really interested to see when they get it on the Android devices as well. As there's a large population on both of those devices, so it's cool to see it on the iOS. Very, very cool. I think a lot of you Europeans really buy. Never mind. I'm gonna leave that one alone. Nathan's got some opinions on that one. We'll do that during the question and answer time after the broadcast. We'll do the rant on about that one after the broadcast. Now we do see Emery here, 3.8 watts per kilogram off the front. Nathan's got too many opinions. I'm not even going to call that one an opinion. I'll just say that Apple has got really good marketing. They're really, really good at marketing. I mean, they have an amazing marketing campaign. Their look, everything about them is just spot on. They get a lot of sales because of really good marketing. Shum now 5.0. I don't even think that's an opinion. That's not an opinion. That's just true. They just got great marketing. Ooh, Noblet. Holy cow, that's insane, dude. Wow. Okay, back to the racing. Frank Garcia, H.G. Becker, Legvox, and Shump still off the front with a group of 5. We're going to work our way back because I think these boys are settled in a little bit. If I see any orange numbers popping up, we'll come back to them. But let's go ahead and see what's happening behind. This is a group that has been lapped out on course in the C race, though. And a large group that's going to be vying for the win, maybe in the C's. We'll have to take a look and see where people are at in the C race. I haven't had an update just yet on ZwiftPower.com for the live. We'll have to wait and see where things are at. The Wallstrom group here, containing Barrett's Team Z, MR from Team Z, Eddie, and Cliven, are just coming through the C group. And looks like these boys are a solid 46 seconds back from the lead group at this point out on course. 35K or so. MR Team Z, Barrett, Wallstrom, Eddie, and then is that Sweeney in there as well? No, these guys are just, there is a group, that large C group, maybe a few of them were trying to grab onto the wheels as they came by. Our Woods from Team Experimental hanging on to jelly legs here. D. Evans. No ZTR in the name. I think a lot of people are still learning about the rules. Or sometimes you log in and you just forget, you guys. I mean, that's and it's like last minute. I think the leader in the B race currently might be in and amongst this group. I'm seeing Wallstrom. Actually, no, MR from Team Z was able to hang on in the lead group, it looks like. So it looks like the leader in the B race is MR, I believe, from Team ZZI. Team Z. When I say Z, you guys, just so you guys know, that is DZI. These boys right here, that is a non-profit organization coming out of Colorado that does really awesome works in Nepal, in the most rural areas. A lot of recovery for the people who live out in the middle of nowhere that were affected horribly by earthquake tragedies. We're talking people who got no water, guys, and no shelters. And Team Z is sponsored by that nonprofit, getting their name out there. Definitely a nonprofit you should be checking out if you're looking to support anything out there, as they do some pretty amazing good works in the world. Fedorovsky here, coming out of Russia, leading it out at 2.9 watts per kilogram in this second chase group. They're about 5 minutes back from the main leaders out on course. Our Woods and Jellylegs able to hold them off at about 2 minutes back or so. And suddenly everyone just disappears out on course. I think this is one section of course that just happens to have, it's like it's a transition type section of course. So as you can see in the upper right hand corner, this is the section that we're looking at right now, and not a whole lot of riders on this section of the course. And as soon as we get to the left hand turn up there, the event will start populating the next section that they turn onto. As you can see, M. Hunk, our Vangren, Bolt, all these are just turning onto, and you can see them back here. That's the white dots that are starting to populate, and they are part of the race here, 33K in or so. They are the chasers that are next out on course, trying to bring back Woods and Evans. And now we do have an update out on Zwift Power. Jay Emery, Garcia, Legvox, Becker, and Shum are the leaders. Eddie A from MR from Team Z, Wallstrom and Cliven are the next chasers. Then 229 back from the leaders. 2 minutes back from that second chase group is who we're looking at with our Woods. Feberovsky is not with them. They're full on 2.5 minutes back from these two, D.R. Woods and D. Evans. We should be seeing some crazy attacks happen here pretty soon on the front group. Waiting for these guys to get us to the right spot out on course so we can take a look and see what is happening at the front of the race. They're about, I believe, going on 40K in, so just 2 laps to go. 2 laps to go, I believe, after they come across the line this next time. The numbers in HR is, what is BJ saying? The cake wasn't feeling will do kiss on TT bike so I can devour the cake after. Heart rate is how many to max. What are we saying here? Oh, the plus, I see. Oh my gosh, that is amazing. So there's an addition to Zwift Power, guys, and we're going to highlight that real quick. Man, you guys just keep on amazing me with the additions. James Hodges, like, you just keep on blowing my mind with what you are doing with this website. So live results, everybody, over at zwiftpower.com, and I'll go ahead and link that, but I'm also going to show it to you guys because it is pretty awesome what they have created here. If you haven't seen it before, definitely something you want to go check out. But zwiftpower.com, they have now added, let's go ahead and get, yep, there we go. So they have now added, so I can just leave it on this page. They used to, so, you know, you see me messing around with browsers a lot over here on the left-hand side when I'm looking over, and that's where I keep Zwift Power a lot of times. And this is the live results right now. As you can see, Jay Emery at the front, 52.56 in. He's 8 of 9 laps in, so they've got 2 to go. And 163 was the current heart rate at the last tag, and it was a plus 19. So he's got 19 beats left for the max. And how do they know that? ZwiftPower.com records everybody's races. And you can see Jason Emery here coming out of the United Kingdom, 15 races, riding for Vision Cycling. And the last race he did was 8:25, right? Kiss Europe TDZ in the Tour de Zwift, took 10th place. But there's a whole list of all of the heart rates he's ever had, and his absolute max was 189. Well, it looks like Zwift Power is taking all that information and putting it into right here where you can see Jay Emery 163 plus 9. He's got 19 beats to work with, 55 beats to work with Legvox, 152 from Shum, 23 from Garcia. So you can see all this great information live. And when they're in red, that's most likely telling us that they're in that threshold zone, as it looks like they've done some calculations based on max heart rate that you've ever seen from these riders as to where they're at and whether or not they're suffering as well. This is just amazing. Great job to James Hodges and everybody behind Zwift Power. Great update. And let's see here. Red equals 90% of heart rate above. Green equals 70, below 70%. New HR tool, sandbagging tool. Okay, who is going to be my domestique plural today? Want me to jump in? Allison Duck is saying, huh? Just kidding. I can't keep up with your tempo. We'll see, Allison Duck. Allison Duck puts the hurt on me a lot of times when we're out climbing on course. And if I try and sprint away, dude, Allison Duck, the duck is just fine. She's going to waddle her way right to the front group, and I'm not too worried about that. Sam's HR equals alien. Oh my gosh. 127 beats per minute coming from the Legvox. And so Shum calling out. We'll see if we've got any explanation coming from him. Sometimes HRs do break. While we're on this, what is it with, oh my goodness, Quentin is actually the one with the call out. Jason Emery here on the front. Nathan Guerra is just going to just going to call what he's seeing here. And now Frank Garcia Becker, Legvox on the back here. And it looks like Team Z is starting to pull that gap back in. It was out to 45 seconds. And it looks like this chase group is starting to bring the seconds in little by little. But now we do see a little bit of a gap here between Emery, Shum, Garcia, and Legvox. It was only 3 seconds or so, but Becker is going to have to do something here along with Legvox if they want to stay on terms, as suddenly out of nowhere there's this gap of 3 seconds, and it looks like Emery is able to go off the front a little bit. Do we implement a no shooting in stream modding rule? No, that's okay. Becker is blocking for Team Experimental is what I'm hearing. Most likely trying to keep things under control. Legvox now forced to make the attack. Now we do see G.A. Emery here at 9.6 watts per kilogram. They're going to have 1 lap to go after this. He doesn't want it to come down to a sprint finish. Trying to make the break happen off the front here. 7.3, 7.7 coming from Shum, followed by Garcia at 9.0 watts per kilogram. Becker quickly coming right on back to the wheel, and I think these were the tactics, trying to drop the Frenchman off as he blocked and then made a crazy attack in order to try and get back on terms with the group without dragging the Frenchman back up to them. But it looks like that is exactly what's going to happen, and it's back together with 1 lap to go after this last little 1K section. Firing away, folks, and looks like Jason is the one firing. Yeah, it looks like that to me as well, as he's just continually on the front here, making it difficult for the other riders. 177 beats per minute, 379 watts or so. Garcia now just hanging in there. Shum working well for Garcia, it looks like, at 5.1 watts per kilogram. Garcia 5.8, 166 beats per minute. We do see that Garcia may be on the back foot a little bit here. He had 23 beats to work with at 157, but at 167, that means he's only got 13 to work with. He is right up into the red at this point, well over 90% of heart rate, so max heart rate. So we'll see if he's got anything left to hang in there. Definitely a time to put the pressure on. We see Becker hanging on the Legvox wheel there and playing the smart card to allow Legvox just to drag him back up to the group if he wants to be a part of it. And Becker just getting all the rest that he could desire at 142 beats per minute. See Shum here, Jason Emery, Garcia have created this gap of about 33 meters. Looking back now, we do see Cliven here has not made a break over Barrett's and MR, but they are definitely trying to make that chase up. They've actually kept it within 1 minute, even with all the attacks. This is a very strong group behind, actually. And MR from Team Z able to hang in there at 168 beats per minute. I think this boy has been on threshold a lot of the time here, just hanging in and playing the smart cards in order to stay on terms with this group of 8 riders in this chase group. Cliven now 5.2 watts per kilogram. Barrett's now trying to pull things back in up to 57, almost out to a minute at this point. Becker now makes the juncture up to the lead group after attack up into that 9 watts per kilogram, probably up into about 600-700 watts momentarily. And goes across the line in first place across the last lap banner. 1 lap to go on the classic course. As you can see, Becker 5.6 watts per kilogram on the back now. Emery 4.1. It's going to come down to a 5-up sprint perhaps. There will be 1 climb at about a 5% grade out of the business district, and we're going to see what is who's got the legs to hold on to a VO2 max effort perhaps through there. But if it all comes back together, I think we'll see some people shaking the legs out for a group sprint and see what they can do up against Mr. Garcia. Garcia looks to be very intent on winning this race, though, in a somewhat of a group sprint. It looks like we've got a new follower at 160 followers. Was that Neckers that threw us that follow? I believe it was. And it just updated for me. So thanks a lot, Neckers. If you're new to the channel, make sure to hit that follow button for all things racing and riding in Zwift. That is what we do here. We broadcast the massive multiplayer online video game called Zwift. These are real people on real bikes in the world somewhere. Becker here in Germany, hopefully in the world somewhere, not just a virtual representation of a person. But Becker looking out of Germany here, 3.2 watts per kilogram, 210 watts, 140 beats per minute for his heart rate currently. Shump sitting at 164, 267. Coming out of Illinois, the USA. Garcia also out of the USA for Team Experimental in that Alienware kit. Jay Emery for Vision Cycling coming out of the UK as well. As you can see on the right hand side here, they have completed 45.5K. And they have about 3K to go. 3K to go in this 48.5K race out on the streets of London Prudential Ride London course. Well, Sam might be the only one who can bother Frank this time. Still rooting for Jason though. We'll have to see. It looks like Sam here maybe be able to bother him. He was on the back foot, it looked like, and had to bring Becker back up to the wheel. So we'll have to see who's got the sprint here in this situation. Out of Team Experimental, I think they are definitely working for Garcia. But between Emery and Legvox, we'll have to see if they can put up any kind of fight. And being the two who are singled out by Team Experimental, they might start working together a little bit to control the other team. We'll have to see what they can pull off here. Sounds like we've got some craziness going on behind. That's usually Micah nowadays. It's usually the Micah man with, yeah, there he is. Lots of fun. Not wanting to take a nap, or perhaps Kyle and him are having a whole lot of fun. Sam and Jason will attempt something in the last climb, I think. Only chance to beat the X's trio. I think you might be correct. Oh, now we do see HG Becker, 11.2 watts per kilogram with a crazy attack way out. And they are forcing the issue here. Garcia following Emery now, and it is Becker who does make an initial cat and mouse attack here, as you can see. This is going to be, they're going to force the Vision Cycling and PTZ riders to make the chase, and Garcia will just sit on. This is the smartest way to do it, actually, as you waste their legs in the chase while they have to pull you up to the fellow teammate of Becker's wheel. So Team Experimental playing everything just right. And we can see Legvox way on the back foot here, 2 seconds off the back, trying to get back on terms with any of the Team Experimental riders. Emery now having to throw in the tower, it looks like, as Becker is throwing down a solid 7 watts per kilogram all day long, all the way up this 5.0, and he's going to continue to grow his advantage, it looks like. 9.2 though coming from Jay Emery here. Maybe he's going to be able to continue on up and over the top. Legvox out of nowhere, 8.6 watts per kilogram. This boy is flying to catch back up to Becker's wheel. As soon as we say that, Becker attacks by surprise. TeamSpeak works well. Oh my gosh. Redstone Flux, what am I looking at? What's going on, Redstone? Good to see you. Also known as Night Fury in the Blizzard world. This is Zwift, a virtual cycling video game, massive multiplayer online. I am the voice of Zwift, Nathan Guerra. We met last night, Redstone, on Overwatch. But one of the main things you get here is the broadcasts of the Zwift races. This is Sam Legvox coming out of France, riding for Team PTZ in the Vision Cycling kit, though. And he's putting out 9 watts per kilogram right now, 630 watts or so, trying to win currently the race out on Zwift. He is actually on a real bike right now, putting out the watts and the heart rate that you're seeing in the upper left-hand corner. H.G. Becker here at 5.6 watts per kilogram, trying to get back on terms out of Germany in the ZTR race. This is the last K here. They're going to set up for a sprint, it looks like. See Shum trying to drag himself back up to those wheels. There is drafting in game, Redstone, just so you know. And so the drafting in game is going to be used by these avatars. Laybox here now trying to stay away. It looks like 7.9 all day long. Becker now at the front here as well, trying to hang on to the wheels. 170 beats coming from Becker here. 179 coming from Legvox. 8.8 watts per kilo. 9.1. Becker just trying to stay on terms with these boys, with this guy's crazy attack into the orange all day long. Now Becker might have one last kick. He seems to be playing it pretty cool and pretty smart at this point. Or maybe he's just got nothing left in the legs. I think he's going to just let that go at this point and settle for second place out on course. Okay, and it looks like we've got a Micah in the background, guys. Apologies. There's, I think Lindsay had to leave, and I think Ace is in charge, and she sometimes struggles with keeping the kids under wraps. So it is Garcia, followed by Jay Emery across the line. Emery will be taking 5th out of that group. Legvox, Becker, Shum, Garcia, and Emery here in the top 5 of the Zwift training race right now. Then we do have the chase group. It was, I believe, where'd they go? Bart, MR from Team Z, and Eddie now off the back from them, it sounds like. Johnny Noblet says, be on Zwift 18 months ago. Yeah, there was some disc wheels. There are some special things in Zwift for those who are only in the beta, just so you guys know. So if you do see something that is unavailable to you, it sometimes, not always, is from those who are able to be in the beta. Now we do see Bears here at 8.6 watts per kilogram, followed by MR from Team Z, able to drop him from his wheel. MR here now 6 seconds, 7 seconds back. And it looks like Eddie will be the next one across the line, perhaps. I'm not sure. Actually, nope, he is not the next one across the line. These boys still have 1 lap to go, 1 lap to go. I think R Woods then. And R Woods suddenly disappearing. Huh. We'll have to work our way back and see if we can find these boys who are still looking to finish up their race. I sound like you did last night, Redstone? What do you mean? So Redstone's essentially saying that I sound like I've had a little too much to drink. Nice tactics, Casey. Scottybot, thank you so much for the host. We really appreciate it. Been chosen random by Scottybot. Oh my, so if you start seeing some XAs in Alienware, it is Team X Academy riders. Gotcha. They are prospects. That's cool. Right on. For our team. I was commentating everything last night. Yeah, gotcha. Well, I thought you meant I just sounded really, you know, like I had just a little too much to drink, maybe. Oh, boy. Well, that's not family friendly. All right, so here we go with Sammy Legvox here, HG Becker, Casey Shum. That's your top 3. Sam walks away with it at 4.59 watts per kilogram. Becker's the next one across the line at 4.25 watts per kilogram duration race. And 3rd place goes to Casey Shum, followed by Frank Garcia and then Jason Emery. Matt Ray takes 6th place for Team Z, and actually 1st place in the B category, followed by Endijal Elvind Kleiven out of Norway. R Woods then across the line. It looks like he's going to be the next one across the line for 8th place and 2nd place in the B race. Number 9th overall, might be Fabarovsky coming out of Russia. We'll have to see if he can hold on to this placing. D. Sweeney is ahead of him. Nope, actually D. Sweeney is 1 lap down. He's been lapped out on course. Fabarovsky actually then out of Russia will be the next one to round out the top 9 riders. And in the C race, we do have something heating up here. They're not quite into view just yet, but in the C race it will be Pryor, I believe. Actually, what's going on here? Jay Farevs, B. Turbo Moon, but does not have his ZTR in his name. So Pryor is the next one, P. Pryor. And he's in the C race, ZTRC, holding down a solid 3.0 watts per kilogram right now. So R. Woods will take 8th place and 2nd in the B race, and 9th place will go to Fabarovsky, and he will be 3rd place. He'll get that bronze medal in the B race. A lot of lapped riders, though, out on course, and so we've got to make sense of everybody where they're at in the race right now. Looking at everybody that has 49 km or so. Kidner here are Young and Bates behind Pryor also in that chase. And it looks like for the C race, it will still be Pryor. There are a few A's and others that are ahead of him. But it looks like it will be Kidner and Pryor. Nope, Kidner is in the A race, so he's going to be 10th place. So it will be this chase group here containing Young, Pryor, and Bates. This is going to be the final sprint for that C category. It doesn't look like anybody's really all that interested, actually, to bring the wattage up. And now it is going to be Young jumping very late, though. Pryor trying to follow that wheel. And at 7.9, now 9.2 watts per kilogram. We're going to have to take a look from the top here and see if Bates does come around him at the last moment. It will not matter for the C race, and it will be Bates, I think, right at the line, does grab it from Pryor before they cross that PRL line. We'll have to get ZwiftPower.com results to get a verification of that. It will be Simcoe here, I believe, for 2nd place in the C race category, and a 14th overall in the ZTR race for everyone. Guys, don't go anywhere. We will continue to broadcast this for a few more minutes here. It looks like Woltna here coming out of Poland, bringing in his race. He's not actually racing. He's warming up. He's warming up for the KISS race, boys and girls. The KISS race out on the same course, the classic course of London, will be happening momentarily, actually, in just a little over 15 minutes from now. The same course, and I believe a whole ton of riders, though, are going to be shorting up for that race. These guys got a few more laps to go for a few of these riders, and we will cover this for another 5 minutes or so, and then we're going to swap over to the KISS race out on Zwift. This was the Zwift training race, a little bit more of a trying to be realistic as possible. There are no power-ups allowed, but the KISS race, quite a bit more gamified, power-ups allowed at any time, as well as TT bikes, which are faster in-game. And Redstone Flux is saying, oh my god, a Tron racer. Yeah, and so the Tron bike is earned in-game. So just like in the World of Warcraft, in the MMO, where you level up and get different achievements and drops and all that kind of stuff, well, in this game, if you do certain achievements, you get certain things from that. And so anybody who's riding around on that Tron bike, you know that they have done a lot of climbing, because that is the climbing challenge. It's called the Zwift concept bike, but we call it the Tron bike. And you know that that individual has climbed to the moon on Zwift. Crazy amount of climbing. Kiss, wine, cheese, frogs, all great. Oh my gosh. Allison Duck. And then, so there's different things in game where you see somebody with a different kinds of things that on their avatar, and you know that they've done certain accomplishments. And so all the way up to level 25, every level unlocks different things in game. Level 25 is the current level cap. I don't know, man. They need to open it up to like level 100, because we've been waiting. We've been waiting a long time, Zwift. Let's go. Let's get things going here with new level cap. Just open up 75 new levels. Let's do it. As maybe current world leader still, I don't know. Since I broke my collarbone, somebody might have overtaken me. There was a Z-Power guy who was doing 300 miles a day, supposedly, that was chasing me down as world leader in game. I might be getting passed up here soon, but we'll get back on the horse, though, as we're doing big rides again to lay down base, especially this winter. So maybe we can retake the crown. I'm not sure if I've even lost it. I'll have to ask Zwift himself. They said I had a pretty good margin, but with one or two chasing on the leaderboards. Hopefully, when they they're going to be releasing Z Power and Smart Trainer and Strain Gauge, though that separation of leaderboards. Hopefully when they do that, maybe they'll release a leaderboard as well for all-time mileage, and they'll separate those as well, because over a long period, I mean, in-game by itself, you know that Z Power can be like, what the heck? But over a long period of time, think about how much of an advantage somebody could get just from the false readings of a Z Power, or even sometimes Smart Trainer, may I say, situation. So let's see here. It's all about the base. It's all about the base. No trouble. Oh my gosh, Mora. Popular Zwift songs. More hype in the channel, boys and girls. Mora, I saw your phone call. Sorry I wasn't able to take it. We'll chat later today. I got a lot of work to do after the cast. I will not be riding immediately after the broadcast, just so you guys know. I will be getting some work done, as well as getting set up maybe for a Pokemon Go later tonight for my recovery ride. And then I got to do some lifting today to get that base. No trouble. No trouble. Going. It looks like we might be able to cover these guys all the way to the end. But we are missing a lot of the riders' sprints out on course right now. We do have coming in just now Wed Mac ZTR, bringing it in unidentified for his class. But he did come in at 3.53, so most likely going to be in that B category. E. Smith, Cutter, and James Gill himself in 18th place overall. Vic Vongren coming out of the USA, followed by Michael Hunk, 19th and 20th overall. So solid rides for all of them. Real quick, I'm going to go over the Zwift Power results over at ZwiftPower.com. These boys, let's see here, let's go to desktop, and as you can see here, it was Samuel Legvox and H.G. Becker, followed by Casey Shum in the top three for the A's. Then in the B category, we do have Matt Ray, Rick Woods, and Serge Fabarovsky for the top three in the B category. The top three in the C's will be Philip Pryor, Eric Simcoe, and Cutter, the Cutter, out of the USA. 2 races so far, and guys, I'm telling you, man, Zwift racing is growing. We're seeing all these new faces joining in on the races, and it's just going to keep on going, especially with the release of the iOS. I know they're a little behind getting the thing, whatever. Okay, no, we're just leaving that alone. I can't even help it. I can't help it, boys and girls. All right, so we're going to go ahead and restart broadcast. It'll just take me 1 minute, boys and girls, to get the VOD prepared. That's why we restart the broadcast. So if you're looking for the VOD of this broadcast, it will be shortly below us here on the beam.pro/Nathan Guerra channel. The VOD will be saved for 14 days. If you would like this VOD specifically, for some reason I can get that saved up for you on YouTube. We don't always load them permanently, but if you really, really want one permanently, we can make that happen. We'll see you guys in just a few minutes for the KISS Road Race out on Zwift. Be right back.